Hey Jaisal, thank you very much. Welcome to our conversation about CLM and Aavenir.
Thank you, Reza. Glad to be here.
So let's get started with the first topic of our conversation, which is what's Aavenir and what does Aavenir do?
So Aavenir, as the name suggests, the Aavenir name means future in French. So we strive to provide future of work, especially in the source to pay and contract lifecycle management space. So we provide AI-powered solutions in the entire spectrum of source to pay, starting from sourcing and procurement at the top to the AP automation at the bottom. And that includes your vendor onboarding, RFP management, contract lifecycle management, obligation management, and of course the AP automation to make the payment to the vendors from that customer standpoint. We are hugely differentiated in this market space by three things. One, we provide these solutions on the ServiceNow platform, one of the best low-code, no-code platform, helping our customers to faster time to value. Second is user experience. A lot of these S2P and CLM vendors are kind of stuck in late 90s or early 2000s. We are helping our customers come to the true 21st century in the new AI era. And the third and final, AI. I mean, my first hire was AI, and we are AI first organization focusing on AI-powered source-to-pay solutions, including CLM.
That's brilliant. And having known the organization, you yourself have 21 plus years of experience in the CLM space. And the same is with the rest of the leadership team as well. And you must have seen contracts evolving from physical wet signature based documents to what today is completely AI driven. Right? Over the last few years, how have you seen customer expectations evolving, especially with the advent of AI? And how has that evolved processes and roles in the source to pay space?
You're making me feel old when you talk about my experience of 21 years, but that's true. I mean, I've been around for a long time doing contract lifecycle management, and you are right. Way back when I started doing it, started doing contract lifecycle management, contract repository was an advanced thing. From there, we evolved into the contract creation, to the e-signature, to the negotiations, and now, obviously, this AI-driven contract management is the thing of today. And going forward, what we see is customers are looking less on the standard table stake features of contract creation, search, and report, and that's required. It's table stakes with better user experience. But what they are now looking ahead is truly adding value to their day. If you look back 20 years, most of that was existing processes trying to automate that. Now they are trying to use these new intelligent tools to expedite their work, reduce their risk, and obviously in process save cost as well. So in general, conceptually, they buy any software for that matter for three reasons, right? To save cost, make more money, or to stay out of front page of Wall Street Journal for any risk and compliance reasons, right? So if you can focus on these three areas, and especially with the AI trying to help the end users, in this particular case, if you look at source to pay or contract management, it helps those stakeholders help manage their day better, manage their contracts better, and focus on the right areas instead of really expanding and spending a lot of time across all the contracts for the matter.
Got it. So with AI, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of information out there. Organizations are still trying to figure out what's the right AI for them. Right? So what would you recommend organizations in terms of what's the right AI in different levels of organizational maturity? How should an organization choose the AI for them?
That's an excellent point. I mean, we have developed our own AI maturity model, what we call that. And what we have figured is that most customers spend more than 90% of their time in a contract management system looking for the contracts. That's their most sought after feature. As simple as it sounds, that's the most sought after feature. So when you look at AI, and AI in CLM space in this particular example, look at the solutions that help you find your contracts easily using AI when you really go up in the maturity model. Next is looking for the right elements, call it metadata, call it clauses, call it obligations from your contracts, especially the third-party paper contracts, right? That's a second layer of your maturity model. Third, after once you capture these two are successful, then you go to the third one where now you can do auto redlining, clause deviation, and automated reviews and stuff. And in parallel to all of these is more of a standalone conversational AI chatbot where you can, any legal assistant or even a downstream user can ask contractor question and learn from that. And these becomes kind of a table stake AI features going forward that I see in next year or year after. And I actually advise our customers and a lot of our prospects as well, they should not try to go for a big bang, not try to look for everything in one go, but look at crawl, walk, run, and slowly go up in this maturity model.
Let's switch gears and talk about obligation management a little bit more, right? A lot of emphasis today is on the pre-signature and signature execution phase of a contract journey. But the real work begins after that. Right? So, what are the challenges that organizations have post-signature? And what are some of the risks associated with it? And what do companies really need to do to manage?
Excellent question, Reza. You are right. I mean, we all talk a lot about pre-signature workflows, but the reality is that portion of the contract lifecycle is a fraction of the total contract lifecycle. The real business starts after the signatures are done. You worked extremely hard in negotiating every term and bend every little word in your favor. Who remembers to track those obligations that you agreed on that? And a lot of the people do, but all of that is just manual. You have to rely on people to be able to do that. That's where the obligation management comes in, where you extract the obligations from given contracts and put them into workflow to make sure that you are extracting the right obligations that you care about, and then you are making sure that you are tracking them. For example, one of our customers, a telco customer, is losing $100,000 a day because of missed obligations. And there are different kind of obligations. In their case, it was SLAs. And there are financial penalties tied to that. Because if they can't track those obligations, the financial penalty linked to that is a severe loss for them. Look at the other organization who have working with IT service providers. There are a bunch of SLAs tracked as part of that. And they want to track those SLAs. Those are contractual obligations as well that they want to track and make sure that they adhere to those from their end. So these are important elements of obligations and obligation management they should be caring about and tracking them.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's when you really get the value out of the contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So that leads me to my next question around, especially with the large enterprises, resilience is a metric that the boards keep a close eye on for large organizations, right? And organizations have GRC and third-party risk management processes to ensure they manage risks and ensure compliance. And for most of them, the vendor or the supplier or the third parties is the weakest link, right? So how do you see a strong CLM solution, a CLM and an obligation management solution help improve the overall risk and the resilience score for an organization?
A great question, Reza. GRC or TPRM, third-party risk management, is an important consideration for most of the organization, especially when you talk to general counsel or chief compliance officer or chief risk officer. A lot of organizations have now. CLM is an important part of that. So it's a bi-directional relationship from CLM into GRC. For example, CLM feeds some of the important metadata and the non-standard clauses which increase risk, into the GRC. Right? For example, your general going in clause is state of New York as a jurisdiction. And as part of negotiation, you agree to state of Texas. Now that increases the risk for you as an organization. That risk has to be fed into GRC. Similarly, post-contract, let's say there are certain things that you agreed as part of your SLAs, financial penalties that you agreed as part of your contract. That risk has to be fed into the GRC. On the other hand, once you know your relationship with that third party, and this particular case vendor, you start measuring the supplier performance. Once that supplier crosses certain threshold to be considered as a risky supplier, then now you want to make sure the next time you do the contract with them, you include certain clauses that kind of cover your basis as well. So that information comes from GRC into Contract Lifecycle Management. So that's a bi-directional relationship that better together between GRC and CLM reduces or helps you manage your resilience score considerably well.
No, I think perfect. And that becomes very, very critical for large organizations, right? Especially when you have a large scale of operations, thousands of vendors. I think insights from a strong CLM system helps you just keep your business safe and keep the lights running.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, perfect. So with that, obviously Aavenir has been working, cutting edge technology, bringing in a lot of AI and innovation to our product and solutions. So what are some of the key innovations that Aavenir is today working on to address the evolving needs of the S2P and the CLM market?
So as I kind of hinted on in response to several questions, Aavenir differentiates on three elements. Platform, which is ServiceNow, because especially being the low-code, no-code platform. And more importantly, as part of that, we offer faster time to value for our customers. So innovation in faster time to value. How do we accelerate our implementations for our customers? So that's one area that we are innovating heavily on. Second is the user experience. That's another big one because most CLM, not even CLM or S2P, but most enterprise solutions, biggest challenge is user adoption. By having better user experience, make it intuitive, we help our customers make sure that their users adopt a new solution, new processes better. And finally, AI. There's a ton of work that's being done. Partly we are leveraging what ServiceNow is doing, but bulk of that is we are innovating our own AI outside of ServiceNow, making sure that our LLM models are trained for specific contract management and S2P use cases, which help our customers directly without really worrying about generic LLM models. So there's a ton of innovations going on in those areas.
All right. Okay. So this brings me down to my last question. Right? So there are a lot of organizations out there that are probably starting their journey of evaluating S2P solution. Right? What is your advice to an organization that's looking to start its CLM journey?
To be honest, the function features are standard. I think those are table stakes. I'm sure everybody knows what function feature that they are looking for, especially given their stage of maturity as an organization. So my advice to them is maybe 4 things, right? 1, focus on platform upfront. I've seen a lot of organizations thinking about platform as an afterthought. We should be thinking more about platform first, depending on which system that you need to talk to and which is your preferred platform. So think about platform first. Second is make sure that you are on your journey with your vendor. A lot of times I've seen customers thinking, okay, I bought this product from vendor and they'll come and enable the system for me. That doesn't work that way. You have to stay with them. It's always a crawl, walk, run approach to that. And as part of that, third step that I would recommend is focus on process first. You don't want to automate the bad processes. You want to make sure that your processes are streamlined. If your processes are fine and good, that technology solution will actually accelerate your success. But if the processes are still antiquated, you are not able to evolve from there, your technology solution may actually make it worse. And last but not the least is focus in user adoption. Buying solution is the first good step, but the second biggest focus area that the organization should have is user adoption. They should have their internal metrics on making sure that the users are adopting these new solutions. Guess what? None of these advices are any different than any other enterprise application that you buy. So it's not so much about buying your contract lifecycle management or S2P, but these are best practices for procuring any enterprise solution.
Wonderful, wonderful. No, thanks a lot for that advice, Jaisal. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure having a chat with you.
Absolutely glad to be here, Reza. Thank you.